Hello, and welcome back to the Metal Gear Rising playthrough. And in the previous part, we were discussing virtuous characters, and you were talking about Liquid Snake, or Solid Snake?
Solid.
Which one? Solid, okay.
Liquid's the villain.
So I actually want to bring up an interesting thing, just something I was thinking about. You know how typically in Japanese media was shown in anime characters, you always have the good virtuous character?
Mm-hmm.
Think of Naruto or Luffy, or to a certain degree Edward Elric, although I would kind of classify him a bit differently, but that's another discussion. What's the difference in the writing that makes Solid so compelling for you versus those other characters? Because that kind of character's been done to death. So what was the difference for you between because you have these characters and they're nothing but goodness and they don't understand why is the world so evil kind of thing? What was the difference in the writing that made you say this character is great compared to something else like that?
Well, I sort of hoped I made that clear earlier, the fact that what makes the difference is the context and the scenario.
Context and scenario,
okay. The struggle and the conflict is really what tests a character's strength as a character. And I think if you're just sort of put into a world as a virtuous character where it's automatically the good thing to do, and it's really clear what's right and what's wrong, etc., and so forth, it's not really that compelling because it just seems natural. I used Trigun as an example similar to Metal Gear because it illustrates it slightly better in that it takes place in a world where everything is awful and it would be so easy for anyone to just be selfish and be terrible. And yet having a character like Vash, who sticks to his moral code no matter what, is what makes him unique and interesting.
That guy just cheesed me. He came through the door. Alright. Yeah, see, I'm actually curious about Trigun now, because... I don't know, have you watched it recently? Does it hold up? I heard the animation doesn't really hold up.
The animation doesn't hold up at all, but literally everything else does.
Okay.
I will say that there is a point... The climax between the main character and the main villain's main henchman is probably the most emotionally affecting scene I've ever seen in an anime.
Huh.
And anybody who's seen Trigun knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Alright, I'll have to figure this out then. I need to buy this. After I get through Steins Gate. Oh, anyway, we actually, we got into this interesting discussion about, Ghibli, and, I brought up how Kill la Kill was originally written as, all-male cast.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got transformed into females.
Yeah, we had those people in their roundtable conference with the supposedly finished draft saying, all right, we got this. We got these great characters. We've got strength. We've got action. We've got comedy. What are we missing? And then this one guy at the back of the room raises his hand and yells, "Tits!"
We need some titty bang bang up in here.
They're like, oh man, I guess we better change all our characters to girls.
Oh my god.
And then throw in a rapey school uniform thing.
Yeah. That was only one episode. Well, it was only one episode. It was like that. They took that whole thing, that whole dynamic was completely gone by episode 2.
I only watched the first episode, so I wouldn't know.
Oh man. Oh, I thought the Sam fight was in this episode. Or this episode, this chapter. I said episode because we're talking about anime.
Yeah, it's its own chapter. I'm not sure why they didn't mush the two of them together.
Because that chapter was rather short.
Yeah.
We have enough BP to get some upgrades for this thing, I guess.
Looks like it.
So, how would you feel if Raiden was a girl?
Well, it does make me think about that codec conversation where Courtney's like, well, if I'd ended up getting mortally wounded during the thingamajigger during the prologue, I could have been turned into a cyborg and saved your ass out there in the field. He's like, I could have saved your ass! And I'm like, oh my god, Courtney, you are so white.
Is she wearing Uggs?
I don't know.
I don't know if you noticed this, but I was talking to Susie. Susie's a mutual friend of ours. But she was talking about how all white girls were wearing Uggs. And I looked around and it was true.
Well, this is Yukon. The Yukon uniform is basically Uggs and those bizarre sweater things. Because it's always winter over here.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
We live in the frozen wasteland. We basically live in Skyrim without any of the magic or...
What do you mean? We have Daniel Malloy. He's magical.
Don't even get me started on that guy. You really want me to bring real-world politics back into this?
Sure, why not?
Our commentary wasn't already controversial enough.
Oh my god, there's color on the screen.
To be fair, the main thing about him that I don't like is simply the fact that it annoys me that he doesn't know how to speak in public.
Well, I mean, he's a speech impediment.
He would have gotten an F in my public speaking class.
He has a speech impediment.
Oh, he does?
I think so. I'm pretty sure he does.
I didn't like his ad campaign either. He sounded like a bully. But I guess they all do.
Well, that's the whole point. That's why I don't like modern politics. It seems more about it's not about who's the best man for the job. It's about who's got the most money.
Who's the most popular? It's like American Idol.
Yeah, pretty much. Except when you're playing with politics, I don't like that.
And that's exactly why Trump and Clinton are going to get the nominees for the Republicans and Democrats, because they have the most name recognition.
Yep, they're the most popular girls in school.
That's the instant Trump card, no pun intended.
I just got that. Alright, anyway, now we finally get to confront Microsoft Sam.
Oh yeah, we got another Sam pun. I didn't even think of that one. I used all mine up in episode
Part 1. Or was it part 2?
No, it was part 1.
Oh, it's part 1, okay. I do like this showdown, though. You get a nice big area to run around in, so there's no camera issues, usually, except for the rocks.
A deserted highway at sunset.
So this is another boss fight that might require a lot of editing, depending on how well I do. If I actually haven't played this boss fight in about 2 years.
Yeah.
Or a year. How long has it been? Since the game came out, I haven't actually come back to play this level. I just remember it took me about 3 hours to figure it out.
And I like the dynamic of this fight because these two do so much to embody the personas of the classic ninja and samurai.
They have a lot of respect.
Yeah, and like, of course, they're cyborgs. One of them's American, one of them's Brazilian. It's such an interesting combination of past and present and foreign and familiar.
Yeah, I do like that about this confrontation. Badasses clashing.
So anyway, we were talking about tits, as I remember, as usual, and then you brought up Hideaki Anno because you bring him up whenever you get the chance to, because you're totally obsessed with that guy.
Evangelion's interesting.
And then you mentioned how he and Hayao Miyazaki are working together on something or other?
There's this animation project, I'll have to show it to you later. They're getting a bunch of new animators together, and they're helping them work on different projects because they want to help train like the next generation of animators.
Yeah.
Pretty much. That's why, you know about Evangelion 4.44, people are like, when is it coming out? When is it coming out? Hideaki Anno's been busy on this instead of that.
Oh, I see.
And he pretty much told people, F off, I'm working on something different for a little bit, because he wanted to take a break from Evangelion. I don't blame him. He's been working on that thing for how many years?
For some reason, the sombrero and poncho seem even more appropriate in this setting than ever before.
Oh, I need to change my weapons. Please don't charge me. I can't use the pole arm's not really all that great for this.
Well, anyway, I was thinking it was sort of strange that Miyazaki and Anno would work so well together. I wouldn't have thought that those two guys would really get along considering their styles. Miyazaki is so like old-fashioned and conservative, and Anno is so like crazy and out there. They're like Jay-Z and Kanye West. They're like Batman and Superman.
Well, okay, I have a question for you. Did you ever you watch Nausicaa, right? I have not watched Nausicaa yet, but I read about the development of it, and Hideaki Anno actually animated some of the like one of the main monster scenes in there.
Oh yeah, that's right. He did the big red multi guy.
Yeah, I forgot the Omu or something like that. I forgot what it's called. But he did the animation for that, and I'm not sure what Miyazaki thought about him or anything. I don't, because they don't really talk much about each other, except that I know that
had Anno like done anything? Was he just like a no-name animator at that point? In his
I
career?
think he was a young animator at that point.
So he wasn't really a name back then.
Nope.
There we go.
He's actually harder to beat without his sword. As long as I can make it to the next phase.
What do you mean, show me a good time? Are we sword fighting or having pillow talk?
Oh, yes.
I don't even know what just happened.
He flipped me over when I tried to do the charge attack. I'm not gonna lie, that was really freaking funny. Yeah, but the thing with the Sam fight, you have to be on your on your game when it comes to parrying. You cannot, I repeat, you cannot beat this boss fight with button mashing. Not happening. I tried it for 3 hours.
I did it on easy. I button mashed my way through him on easy, but
I'm talking about on normal. Did you play this game on normal?
That's not much of a boast. I barely got through him on normal.
This is actually kind of hard to parry. I mean, when you're new to this game, this whole game's it's like Dark Souls.
Well, no, it isn't like Dark Souls, but
I had a Dark Souls-esque experience with it.
Just getting through it is simple enough, but getting through it with actual skill and finesse is very difficult. That's what I sort of like about it. It has a pretty low barrier for entry, but it's got a really high
well, it's easy. It's somewhat easy to learn, I guess, but it's a lot harder to actually play it well.
Yeah, it's easy to learn, hard to master.
Kind of, I guess some people would compare it to like the Batman Arkham games in that respect. Is he gonna charge at me or what? Do I have nano paste? Okay, sweet, I got 3, so I'm good.
You better, yeah.
I'm actually not doing too bad against him. What was that? Oh. Ah, this camera. If it weren't for the rocks. Yeah, the rocks. When you get caught, when he goes behind the through the rocks like that, it can be really hard to read what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa!
Ouch! 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 Ouch!
I'm not gonna lie, that looked pretty funny. I don't know why I can't get his last little bit of health down right here.
Oh man. There we go.
Alright, I actually did pretty well.
Yeah. And then you missed the
Oh, yes!
Ouch.
Clean and simple.
Ouch, 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 ouch.
Oof. I almost felt bad for him here.
Oh, you're supposed to feel bad for him here. He's a sympathetic character at this point. And then after the Jetstream DLC, it's even worse. Because he's a really good guy.
With an amazing accent.
He's a fallen hero.
So I'm assuming because I don't really know too much about this, he and Blade Wolf were partners, right?
Yeah.
At some point.
Yeah, that's also sort of unclear because that happened in between Jetstream and the main game.
Ah, okay.
The two of them meet for the first time in the DLC, and they're enemies, and the boss fight is exactly like it is in the main game.
Except you don't chop them up.
You do, actually. And I'm sure...
what?
I'm assuming he must have gotten his memory wiped, which is why he doesn't talk about the fight, but they have an interesting little philosophical debate, and I don't quite remember what it was about, though. It was interesting. It sort of set up the dynamic between Sam and Wolf.
Okay. I mean, I really liked... I liked what we got in this game, it's just they didn't really flesh it out too much.
Yeah.
But I mean, that combat encounter was pretty cool.
That's for sure.
It's funny, because this guy, you have no idea how long it's been just trying to learn his attack patterns.
Oh, yeah.
But now we get his sword. I don't remember. Do you remember if his sword has any special properties that make it any more, make it better than what we already have? I don't really remember it being any better.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think its main purpose is just for the Armstrong fight.
Yeah, I think that was the main purpose. Because I tried using it in another game run when I was playing through it like the third time or something like that, and it's not like it did that much more damage from what I remember.
At this point in my personal playthrough, I had the fully upgraded Fox Blade, so I didn't need anything else.
Like, I don't need it. You can keep it, Sam. It's interesting because Sam actually wasn't a cyborg.
Really?
Yeah, didn't you see on the inside?
Oh yeah,
because Sam, I found it interesting that Sam could do all that crap, yet he was like mostly human.
That is cool.
So, yeah, I wish I was him. I mean, you're not right now, but no, the color of the game. No, don't leave it. Oh, we're back to the gray. Hey, guess what? It's your turn.
Oh boy, here we go again.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, lady and gentlemen, because Patty's probably watching, and that's about it. We are going to get to the Armstrong fight tonight, and I think Mike will be able to handle it.
Oh my god.
I believe in you. Do you want to fight in the mariachi suit?
Of course. Why do you even need to ask?
Alright, let's see if there's any more upgrades. Oh, you're going to need that.
Well, the sword upgrades don't matter against Armstrong because you don't use the sword in the battle with him. You have to use Sam's sword.
Crap.
Do we have it?
No, it's not unlocked until Wolf gives it to you.
Oh, well, then it doesn't even matter. Alright.
Well, why don't we upgrade, like, life and fuel or whatever?
I already did that earlier.
Oh, okay.
So we're good with that. So, guys, we're going to cut the part right here and stick around for the Armstrong fight that'll be coming up. Probably the part after next part, because we have to make it through that big area first.
Something, nanomachines, son.
Alright, this will be good. Alright, see you guys next part.
Take care, guys.